Namaskar students. In this video, we will take some problems on volume of solid of revolution. In our previous video, we have discussed basics of solid of revolution and various results for finding the volume and surface area of solid of revolution. So continuing the same, let us take some problems on volume. So this is the first problem. We have to find the volume of the solid which is generated by revolving the ellipse about the x-axis. So here the fixed line about which we are revolving the area, that fixed line, the axis of revolution is the coordinate axis, x-axis, and the curve is here ellipse. We can see here in the figure we have considered here the ellipse. We will be revolving this ellipse. The area bounded by this ellipse, we will be revolving that area along this x-axis. So the curve is Cartesian. We will be using the formula which we have for the Cartesian curve for the volume. So that formula is integral. We'll be finding the limits. Integrand is, since axis of revolution is x-axis, the formula is pi y square dx. Now we need the limits of x here. For this, let us see this figure. This is the ellipse. Let us see where this ellipse is cutting the x-axis. So we have this point, these points A and C. The coordinates of point A will be A0 and the coordinates of point C will be minus A0. So here the limits of x will be from minus A to A. So we have to evaluate this integral. Now we have to integrate with respect to x. We have here y square. So we will be finding y from the equation of curve. The curve is here ellipse. The equation of the ellipse is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1. What we need y square. We will be finding this y from this curve. We have discussed in the formula. We have denoted the curve by y equal to fx. So we will need to find this fx. So from this we can easily find out y square. Y square will be b square multiplied by 1 minus x square upon a square. We will be obtaining this y square by solving this equation of ellipse. So if I write down here, we can write it as minus a to a y square. From the equation of ellipse, we will get b square 1 minus x square upon a square dx. So we have used the formula which is for the Cartesian curve and the axis of revolution is x-axis. And by using that formula, by finding the limits, we have evaluated the limits from the curve. We have put here these limits, and when we will be solving this integral, this definite integral, we will be getting the volume of the solid. So by using the properties here, we can rewrite this as 2 times 0 to a, this pi and b square, these are the constant terms, 1 minus x square upon a square dx. Let us integrate it. Two pi b square, these are constant terms. When we will be integrating 1, it will become x, and when we will be integrating x square, it will be x cubed by 3. It will become x minus x cubed by 3 a square, and the limits we have from 0 to A. So let us solve it further. Let us put the limit. This which will be simplified to 4 pi A B square upon 3. So this will be the volume of the solid. Now the same problem can also be done with the help of parametric equation of ellipse. We know that the parametric equation of this standard ellipse are x is equal to a cos theta and y is equal to b sin theta. So in that case, we will be using the formula of volume which we have for parametric curves. These are the parametric equations, and in that formula, the limits which we will be considering, that will be of parameter, which is here theta. If I write down that formula for the difference, here the axis of revolution is x-axis. The curves are parametric if we are considering x as a cos theta and y as b sin theta. So that in that case, the formula will be pi y square dx by d theta. And here we will be having the limits of theta, say theta 1 to theta 2. We will be finding that what will be the limits of theta 1 and theta 2 from these points A and C. Will be finding that corresponding to the point A, what is theta 1, and corresponding to the point C, what is theta 2. And within those limits, we will be evaluating this integral and we will be getting the same volume 4 pi AB square upon 3. Now let us take second problem. The problem is the cardioid. This is a polar curve. The cardioid, whose equation is r equal to a 1 minus cos theta, revolves about the initial line. We have already discussed what we mean by the initial line. Initial line means theta equal to 0, positive direction of x-axis. Find the volume of the solid formed. So what is our axis of revolution? Axis of revolution is initial line, theta equal to 0, and the curve is cardioid. We have two types of cardioid. One is this one. Here this cardioid is r equal to a 1 minus cos theta, and another one is r equal to a 1 plus cos theta. Both of these curves, they are symmetrical about the initial line. Or we can say that these curves are symmetrical about the initial line, because when we will be replacing here theta by minus theta in both of these cardioids, in both of these equations of cardioids, there will be no change in the equation of curves. It means that these curves are symmetrical about the initial line. Here, if we are considering for this cardioid, which is given in this problem, if we are considering theta as 0, for theta equal to 0, what will be r? Cos 0 will be 1 and this r will reduce to 0. So at theta equal to 0, r will be 0. And if theta is equal to pi, if theta is equal to pi, cos pi is minus 1. In that case, what will be r? R will be 2a. So in this case, we will be having this one. So if I name these points, this point is here, theta is 0, r is 0. And if I talk about this point here, theta is pi and r is 2a. So we are revolving the area bounded by this cardioid about the initial line. The curve is polar, so we will be using the formula which we have for the polar curve. So the formula for the volume in the case of polar curves, if the axis of revolution is the initial line, is 2 upon 3 pi r cube sine theta d theta. We have to find the limits of theta, that how theta will vary. What are the values of theta? So it is very clear from the figure that theta will vary from 0 to pi. So the limits of theta will be, because this reason it is bounded by, here theta is 0 and here theta is pi. So it will be from theta equal to 0 to theta equal to pi. Since integration is with respect to theta, we need to write this integrand in terms of theta. So let us write down r from the equation of curve. The curve is r equal to a1 minus cos theta. So using this equation of curve, we will get here 2 upon 3, 0 to pi. We can take this pi outside. This is constant, 2 upon 3 pi r cube a cube 1 minus cos theta whole cube sine theta d theta. It can be easily solved with the help of substitution. We will be assuming here cos theta as a new variable. So let cos theta is a new variable, let it be t. Let us find out the relation between d theta and dt. Minus sine theta d theta dt. Let us find out the limit. If theta is 0, cos 0, t will be 1. If theta is pi, cos pi, t will be minus 1. So we get here let us take all constant terms outside, 2 upon 3 pi a cube. By using the property of definite integral, we can arrange the limits also. So we can write that as 2 upon 3 pi a cube within the limits minus 1 to 1, 1 minus t whole cube dt. Let us solve it further. So simple integration, 2 upon 3 pi a cube 1 minus t raised to power 4, and we'll be getting here minus 4. The limits are from minus 1 to 1. Upper limit will give 0 by considering the lower limit. When we will simplify it further, we will get 8 upon 3 pi a cube. So this will be the volume of the solid, which will be obtained by revolving the area bounded by this cardioid about the initial line. Now let us consider one more problem. Problem is, show that the volume of solid generated by the revolution of the loop of the curve is given and the curve is Cartesian, about x-axis is 2 pi a cube log 2 minus 2 by 3. I am just giving you a hint that how we will be doing this problem. We will be discussing that what will be the limits in the integral here. So again, this is a case of Cartesian curve, as we have discussed in the very first problem of ellipse. The ellipse was given in Cartesian form. The second one, the second curve which we have considered was cardioid, that was a polar curve. And this is again the Cartesian curve, and the axis of revolution is x-axis. Now let us have an idea about this curve. See here, we have rearranged the terms, this equation of curve, and when we have simplified it, we have here y square as x square a minus x, this whole divided by a plus x. We have obtained this from this equation. We have done this, then this, and from this we have written that y square is this one. Now, if we check here that for what values of x this curve is defined, since we have y square, so this right hand side should be positive, because otherwise this y will not be defined, it will become complex. So if we see the right hand side, in the numerator we have x squared, that will always be positive. Then we have a minus x, that may be positive, that may be negative depending on the value of x. Similarly, in the denominator we have a plus x, which may be positive or negative depending on the value of x. So if we are saying that x is positive, x is greater than 0. So if we are saying that x is greater than 0, then this a plus x will be positive. X square will always be positive, whether x is positive or negative. So x square and a plus x both are positive in this case if x is greater than 0. So now the sign of y square depends on a minus x, and it is very clear that if x is less than a, then this a minus x will be positive, and as x will be greater than a, then this a minus x will become negative, and then y square will not be defined. So that's why if you will see this curve, this point is a0, and the curve is not lying beyond this x equal to a, because for those values, for x greater than a, the curve will not exist, this y will not be defined. Moreover, we can see here that if we check that where this curve will cut the x-axis, for that we will be putting here y as 0, because we know that on x-axis y is 0. So when we will consider here y as 0, what we will get? We will get two values of x. The one is x equal to 0, which is this origin, and the another is this point x equal to a. So this curve will cut coordinate axis, x-axis at 2 points. The one is this origin, and the another is this point a0, which we have named here as a, and this is origin. Now let us see that for negative values of x, for what negative values of x this curve exists. Here, if x is negative, then this a minus x will always be positive. This numerator will always be positive is if x is negative. If x is less than 0, this term which is present in the numerator a minus x, it will always be positive. So now the existence of curves depend on this denominator, which is a plus x. Since x is less than 0 and we have here a plus x, so the curve will not exist if x is lying beyond this point. This is here we have, if I name this point, this is minus a. At this point x is minus a 0. Beyond this the curve will not exist because y square will not be defined. Moreover, we can see here that at x equal to minus a, this denominator will become 0 and hence y will tends to infinity. That's why we have this branch, infinite branch at this point x equal to minus a. This x equal to minus a is an asymptote for this curve. So this is the equation of this line is x equal to minus a, and this x equal to minus a is an asymptote for this curve, given curve. So this is a brief idea that the shape of this curve will be of this form, and why we have these infinite branches at x equal to minus a, and why the curve is not lying beyond minus a and a, because in that case y square will not be defined. And if I talk about the loop, we have this loop. So we have to find out the volume of the solid which is generated by the revolution of the loop. So this is the loop and we are revolving this loop about the x-axis. So let us use the formula of volume which we have for the Cartesian curves, and when the axis of revolution is x-axis. The area is bounded between curve and x-axis. Formula is pi y square dx, and we need the limits. The limits will be for this loop, as we have discussed, that this origin has the point, we call it pole in the case of polar curves. In the case of Cartesian curve, we call it as origin. Here x is 0 and at a, x is a. So the limits of x will be here from 0 to a. We need to write this y from the equation of curve. We have already written here that what is y square by simplifying the equation of curve. So it will be 0 to a. Y square is x square a minus x a plus x dx. And solving this integral, we can find out the volume. Let us give you a hint that how we will be evaluating this integral. We will be breaking it in two parts. A, 0 to a. I'm just giving you a hint here that how we can proceed further for evaluating this integral. And another one will be, we forget here to mention pi. We have pi also. This is pi a, and here minus pi 0 to a x cube dx upon a plus x. In the first integral, what we will be doing, we will be adding and subtracting minus a square plus a square to make our further calculation easy. We will be considering x square minus a square together, so that x minus a, it will be having two factors, x minus a and x plus a, and x plus a will cancel out from numerator and denominator, and then we will be left with plus a square upon a plus x, which is very simple and it can be easily integrated. And similarly here, what we will be doing, here we will be adding plus a cube and subtracting minus a cube, and then we will be using the formula which we have for a cube plus b cube. So what we'll be doing here, we will be writing this x cube. I'm just giving you a hint here. We will be writing this x cube as x cube plus a cube minus a cube. And we will be using the formula on this x cube plus a cube, the formula of a cube plus b cube. And in that way, we will be able to cancel out this x plus a. So in this way, you can proceed further and you can simplify these two integrals, and you can prove that the volume will be 2 pi a cube log 2 minus 2 by 3. Now let us consider the last problem. Here in this problem, we have to prove that the volume of reel formed from the revolution of the cycloid. Cycloid is an important parametric curve given by these two equations about the tangent at the vertex is pi square a cube. So here the axis of revolution is tangent to this cycloid at the vertex, and it is clear from the figure that tangent at vertex to this curve is x-axis. So axis of revolution is x-axis. So the formula which we will be considering will be the same which we have for parametric curves, and when the axis of revolution is x-axis. So that result is volume is given by this integral. Axis of revolution is x-axis, so we will be using integral of pi y square dx by d theta, where theta is the parameter. Here we need the limits of theta. We can see here in the figure that for these 2 points, if I name these points as A and B, for these points A and B, the theta will vary from minus pi to pi. At theta equal to minus pi, this x is minus a pi, y is 2a. And at theta equal to pi, x is a pi. We can check it from these equations that if we are putting here theta as pi, x will come as a pi. And if we put here theta as pi, y will come as 2a. So this distance y is 2a. It is same for both of these points A and B. And for these points A and B, theta will vary from minus pi to pi. And the axis of revolution is x-axis. So since it is symmetrical about y-axis, we can take here 2 times also. And we can take here the limits from 0 to pi. So let us put here y and dx by d theta. This will be 2. The limits are from 0 to pi. Pi. Y is a1 minus cos theta. So y square will become a square 1 minus cos theta whole square. We need dx by d theta. Let us evaluate dx by d theta from this x. Again, we will be having one a and the derivative will be 1 plus cos theta and then we have d theta. So let us take all common terms, constant terms outside. 2 pi a cube and this limits we have 0 to pi and we can rearrange and we can write it as 1 minus cos square theta, 1 minus cos theta, 1 plus cos theta, it will become 1 minus cos square theta and we have one more 1 minus cos theta. Now we can reduce this integral in powers of sine theta and cos theta, and by using the property which we have for this integral which we have discussed in beta and gamma function, we can easily evaluate this integral further. So let us simplify this integral further. Let us solve it. It will be 2 pi a cube. The limits are from 0 to pi. This will become sine square theta, and by using trigonometric identity, it will become 2 sine square theta by 2 d theta. If we simplify the sine square theta, if we further write in terms of sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2 by using the identity of sine 2 theta, we will get here 2 pi a cube as 0 to pi 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2 raised to power 2. We have this 2 sine square theta by 2. So it will be 16 pi a cube is integral with limit 0 to pi sine theta by 2 raised to power 4 and cos theta by 2 raised to power 2. Now we can use that property, but before that we have to make this theta by 2 as some new variable and the limit should also be 0 to pi by 2. So for we will be considering here the substitution. Let theta by 2 as t. This will give us that volume will become 16 pi a cube. Now the limits will be the same as we have in that property of beta gamma function, 0 to pi by 2, and this will become sine t raised to power 4 cos t raised to power 2, and this d theta will be 2 dt. We will get here V as 32 pi a cube, and this integral 0 to pi by 2 sine t raised to power 4 cos t raised to power 2 dt. Now we have already discussed the result for this integral. If we compare it with that one, here p is 4 and q is 2. So let us write it in terms of gamma function. 32 pi a cube, this will be 4 plus 1 by 2, gamma of p plus 1 by 2, gamma of q plus 1 by q is here 2, 2, q plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times gamma of p plus q plus 2 by 2. 32 pi a cube, this is gamma of 5 by 2. Gamma of 5 by 2, by reduction property, we can write it as 3 by 2, 1 by 2, and we know gamma of 1 by 2 is under root pi. This second is, this is gamma of 3 by 2. Again, by reduction property, we can write it as 1 by 2, gamma of 1 by 2. Gamma of 1 by 2 is under root pi. Then we have 2 here, and we have this gamma of 4. Gamma of 4 can be written as 3 factorials. When we will be simplifying it further, it will be the same result which we have to prove, pi square a cube. Pi square a cube. So in this way, we can do the problems of volume of solid of revolution. That's all for this lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.